What is up, man? It's your boy Sea Dog. Sorry, I haven't uploaded in a little while, behind schedule. Enjoying some candlelight right now. If you can see that, yeah, avoiding the blue light, getting ready for bed before too long. But I journaled some today. I have a journal. Every man probably should. It's just a healthy habit at this point, especially doing things like gratitude journaling. I would recommend for everyone. But anyways, the title of this video is, or I believe I titled it, I'm no longer introverted, or I'm actually an extrovert, or I'm not introverted. No, I used to think that I was. And the sentiment came from a place where I was, okay, basically, I was very socially awkward growing up. I didn't get a whole lot of social exposure. I didn't socialize very much when I was a kid. Basically, that sums up everything. I mean, I was kind of a recluse. I played video games all day. When I got a little older, I went to school. I started to get out of my shell a little bit. At least I thought I was. I was still pretty in my shell, and I had a handful of friends. Total Jeffrey, getting the and getting the prawn addiction, and that wasn't good. And, anyways, which also destroyed my confidence. But um, getting a no-fab, getting on the right things really changed my life. But anyways, I for most of my life I disdained party life. I disdained, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should be a degenerate, go to nightclubs. It's not at all what I'm saying. But it's just a big social, anything with a lot of people. I disdained it for some reason. I didn't even really know why. I just knew that it's like, whatever, it sucks. I don't even think I even truly hated it. It's just that I never got to have any fun while I was at any of them places, right? And this went on pretty much my whole life until I was 18 or so, until, well, not age, and I'm kind of begging off some connections with my mom, which is, my mom's side of the family is really, really friggin' huge, and they get to have massive get-togethers whenever they can, and they drink and they do stuff, and I'm not saying you should drink, but, they always have a birthday party, they always have something going on, some event, something that they're planning. They pretty much always hang out with each other, basically what I'm saying. Even if it's not a party, they just hang out at each other's house or whatever. Sometimes they play games, like in Mexican one we have is like Mexican Bengals called Loteria. They play Loteria, they play, sometimes my male cousins get together, they play video games, whatever, they just getting together and doing stuff. And I always said it's like, oh, I don't like social things because. And I never understood why that was. And I recently found out that it was actually low, I had very bad social skills, really, really low level social skills. Um, and again, it comes from not being able to practice them when I was young. But anyways, fast forward, 18, got a job, working for 2 years. I've been taking self improvement seriously since I was 18. Started getting into it when I was younger, hearing about the red pill and stuff. And I started lifting weights, started exercise, and started learning about everything. But we didn't start implementing it until I was 18. And 2 years goes by, a little more than 2 years, nearly 2.5 years. And yeah, actually, nearly exactly 2.5 years. Um, and here I am, and my mom's like, this is a birthday party, and I haven't gone to a party in years. I mean, like New Year's was a big thing, and I showed up there just to say hi, so I get to say hi to a couple family members I hadn't seen in years. Um, and then I disappeared again, but that's not really like actually hanging out. I mean, a couple times I visit some, but anyways, I'm not gonna get that into that technical area. I never went to an actual party and like sat there for a long time and enjoyed it. Actually, ever. I mean, I've been to parties, but I never enjoyed it. So, anyways, fast forward to until I was 18, and then fast forward 2 years later, after I'm implementing all these things, my confidence literally tripled from doing NoFap, and that's not even a joke. The way I felt about myself, how open I was. I still have work to do. I still have a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of things I want to learn. I want to get better at. I need to learn how to do some basic like dancing and stuff. This like so I can actually like let loose and groove and stuff. That'd be awesome, but there's some work to be done in that area. Not that it's a priority in my life, but just some things. It's not that hard to learn basics and some things. Um, but I've been getting so much better, so much higher level in my self improvement journey. Um, it's just, I don't know how to put it. I don't really have much of a filter. Uh, don't really. I'm a little impulsive, but I mean, like I'm not afraid to talk to people. I go up and I say dumb stuff. It's make dumb jokes. That's how I make acquaintances. Sometimes I make dumb jokes. I don't care what people think that much. I don't worry about it anymore. I don't let it get to me. It doesn't even really get to me, even if I try to let it. It just doesn't. Whatever. I'm not a ridiculously confident guy, but I'm just like I'm open. I'm not afraid to talk to people, and I meet new people whenever I can. I love talking to people. I like opening up to people. I like getting people to open up to me. I like to break the ice. I like doing that, and I never was that way until I started implementing the right things, and I realized I'm actually a little bit of a kind of a people person. I like people quite a lot actually, and haven't gone to a party in a long time, whatever. And then I finally go to one after I've been making all this progress, weightlifting, meditating, being present, gratitude journaling, just regular journaling, stretching, whatever. My physique has gotten a lot better. And I'm not some awesome guy. I mean, I'm pretty tall and lanky, so proportionally, I don't look super great. I won't look good on the stage, but if I'm next to someone, I look pretty large. My frame, just because of the way I'm built, and I do have some muscle on my frame, but I'm fast forwarding. I'm getting all this stuff done, right? And then I go to a party, and it's a party for my niece. It's they turn two or whatever, and there's people drinking. There's like the uncles are always getting drunk in the garage, arguing about something that happened in the 1980s or whatever, or talking about something, talking smack, talking about their car, whatever the case may be, their wives, whatever. And some people are drinking, having a beer, whatever. But it's not like a party, but it's like a get together. It was at a ranch actually, one of my relatives' ranch. They have a ranch with some goats, some stuff, and chickens. Actually, apparently goats are pretty cool. They're kind of like a big ugly dog with beards. They like fighting, so it was pretty fun to kind of wrestle with them. And they pushed me, and I grabbed their horns. I kind of pushed them back. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Pretty fun actually. I had a good time. But most importantly, with the people, I talked to people. I met new people. I made a new friend. I talked to some girls. I had a good time. I wasn't afraid. And, I didn't get any numbers. I wasn't trying to, but I literally just talked to them as if they were human beings, and I had a good time. And I realized, because for a long time, I've been having this sense of like mental anguish slash dread, no matter the house, and I work a lot. I work hard. I lift weights. I do this, that, and the other thing, and I have hardly any time to invest. I get home, I crash. I physically heal up, not completely recover. The weekend I kind of recover a little bit, but there's always this mental anguish, this little dread that I get when I'm in the house a lot, and I just don't know what it is. And recently I started having like a little bonfires outside, on my weekends off. I just cut up some sticks, some firewood, and I just get the fire put out and burn some stuff and sit around the fire. And my sister started joining me, which was cool. Okay, that's great. And I mentioned that one of my previous videos. I think it was like the technology destroys your life, some whatever I titled it, whatever. Um, anyways, I started noticing that when I'm hanging out with my sister, who's just sharing stories, stuff about school, whatever, funny stories, dumb stories, whatever, not scary stories. We don't have any meant to tell, but that sense of stress or anxiety will kind of get that little itch, whatever it was. It's more like it wasn't a little itch. It was something that was really bothering me. I got scratched and I felt good. I felt satisfied. So I was doing that every weekend for a while, and then I realized, initially I was like, oh, this is just my anguish, disappearing is synchronous with my phone being absent. That when my phone is absent, my stress is absent, and there was a level of truth to that. There was really truly a level of truth to that, but I think it mainly comes from interacting with people, because tonight there was no fire. I mean, we had fireworks because it's the 1st of July, and everybody's already lighting stuff up right now, anyways. And it's on a ranch in the country, so a couple people were shooting guns and stuff, and having this, doing a couple of dumb things. It was whatever. And there's a Latin. My family's Latin, so they were playing lots of different music, Mexican music, and having a great time and cooking awesome food. It was great, great food. And I just had a good time vibing with everybody, and I wasn't always 100% with everybody. Sometimes I was felt a little awkward, and still don't have the perfect social skills, especially mainly like long term. Like I was there for nearly 5 hours. It's different at work when you have 20-minute conversations when you're unable to. Um, but and I'm getting better with that. And my only regret is that I went home earlier when I should have. It was 9:45 when I left. I could have stayed until 11 if I really wanted to. or later. Not that you should stay up super late and sacrifice your sleep, but I could have. And my cousin was like, "Oh, you gotta dance with me, Christian, or whatever." And I was like, next time. Sorry, I gotta go. It's getting later, and it's kind of like this mental thing I got too. Is like I stay for something. I gotta go, because back when I was younger, it's almost like it sounds retarded, but like when I was younger, I would stay for a bit. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Social anxiety, whatever, social skills that suck, whatever. And I just felt like I didn't belong, so I would go. And I kind of had the thing where I still was like, I think I've been here too long. Even though I was having a good time, I felt like, okay, I probably should go. And then afterwards, I was like, I should have stayed. Oh well, it's not. I had a great time, honestly. And I could have stayed later, and I should have probably, but in a way, I'm glad I came back early because I had time to journal about it, think about how I'm going to record this video, and also cook some steak. But gave me a lot of things to think about, and it kind of was kind of like a paradigm shift because I thought I was an introvert, but introverts they kind of recharge their mind, their emotions, whatever when they're away from people, and that's not the experience I've been having. Physically, my body heals from the work, the weightlifting, whatever, stretching, whatever it is I do. I get occasional injuries, but I heal up. My body recovers, but my mind's kind of like, I don't know, got this thing going on. And 5 hours of party time with family members and people I didn't know, girls I didn't know, wrestling with a couple girls, and that sounds dumb, but it was very fun. They're like big ugly dogs with beards. Pretty cool, actually. I had a good time. And, all of this combined, I actually feel pretty good, and now I'm pretty soon going to go to bed. Got candles out, whatever. Um, Avoiding blue light. But, anyways, it was actually pretty good. And, and I know I said this a million times, it was pretty good, but it truly, coming from someone who lived their whole life one way, and then just realizing that I just sucked at talking to people, and that literally cures my problems. Also fixes other problems I didn't know I had, or didn't know I had a solution to, didn't know what was causing them. It's kind of actually a big deal. It's like, holy crap, I was wrong. I was not only was I wrong, but I was like, not just wrong about one thing. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like I was wrong all across the board here. I'm not an introvert. Um, I am probably a little more extrovert. I don't care. I'm like labeling myself and put myself in categories. I'm just a person that actually likes talking to people and being able to forget about my problems and go hang out with other people, hang out with family members, talk to people. Not going on getting girls' numbers. Not that there's anything wrong with that inherently, but just talking, just hanging out. I felt great, and it was great to do that. Could I do that every day of the week? Probably not, but it felt great doing it. And I think my some said it social anguish, my um, spiritual, mental anguish, whatever it is, that's this weighted dread I've been feeling off now when I'm in the house for too long. Which I know that sounds stupid because if you're in the house too long, you feel anxiety from being in the house too long. It's probably because you're in the house too long. Don't know why I never made that connection. Years my life wasted, well, not wasted, but like, um, you think you'd be able to put that together, but I didn't. It is what it is. And I probably did waste not a lot of my life. I did go to parties when I was younger, but I just didn't have the skills. And if I had the skills, I took the time to learn the skills to face my fears or overcome them, or just freaking talk to them. Uh, the people that is now, the voices in my head, are the fears and that I have voices, but uh, I could have actually, circumvented a whole bunch of stuff and actually enjoyed a larger portion of my life. And also avoided a lot of anguish that from stress from being inside the house too much. Who knows? Maybe I never would have got so much into video games. Maybe I wouldn't have needed to get stupid friends at school that got me addicted to porn. Again, I don't mean that choice is my fault, but it's got introduced to it by people. And who knows? Maybe I would have went down that path anyways. But it would have happened later, or it just wouldn't have happened at all, or it would have been a tiny version of what it was. And who knows? Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad then. Maybe it would have been worse. Who knows? I don't really know. I'm just saying what it looks like is it looks like I could have enjoyed my life a lot more as a younger guy. I'm so young, but I've lost a lot of years, potential years of having fun and socializing with people because I've been unable to overcome fears in my life. Basically, afraid to talk to people. Like even when I go to I go to Olive Garden. It's sound autistic, but I go to Olive Garden. I go to places like this, and not that I try to flirt with the waitress, but in a way I try to flirt with the waitress and I try to get her number, and it's never worked. But I say the first time it freaked me out. The second time it was like, "Ugh," and then the third it was easier, and fourth so on and so forth. And now it doesn't really even bother me, so I don't even do it anymore. Maybe I should still try to keep my skills sharp. Not that I really have many pick up artist skills, but I'm not afraid to anymore. And I wasn't afraid to talk to people tonight either. I had a good time lighting fireworks and making dumb jokes and hanging out talking about stuff or school or college or whatever. Not that I go to college, but people ask, that's the question. A lot of people ask each other, what are you gonna do with your life? So, I talked to a lot of younger guys my age, younger girls my age, and some of them were family, some of them were not, and I had a good time. Some people I hadn't seen in a long time, since I was 19 or 18 or whatever. Since before I got my first job that I had seen, and it's like I don't see these people, and I did, and I had a good time, and they had a good time with me, and I was like, wow, we've gotten taller. I haven't seen you in years. One of my cousins, Hortensia, was like, I haven't seen you since you were 18. Your Spanish is so much better. You everything's you're taller, whatever. You look older, whatever. And it's kind of sad to think that 2 years of my life, not that I was trying to avoid these people, but I essentially, for all intents and purposes, objectively speaking, I avoided these people because my social skills sucked. But my social skills don't get better unless I talk to people. So, but I didn't want to talk to people because my social skills sucked. You see the problem? So it's kind of like a vicious cycle, but again, it is my fault for not overcoming them earlier. But self improvement changed my life. No fap changed my life. These things, and these things changed my life because how bad. How does this? No fap is incredibly powerful because porn is incredibly powerful in a bad way. Um, these things, destroyed my life, destroyed my confidence, destroyed my ability to socialize with people, kept me inside all day, miserable, upset, addicted, and sad, and depressed or whatever, low T, and probably gave me all kinds of problems, physical health problems, mental health problems, whatever, that could have totally been avoided. And it's just wild to think that it's potential in my mind. I believe it's totally possible I could have circumvented everything if I just focused on my social skills and wasn't afraid to go out and whatever. There have been times when my aunts are like, I'll teach you how to dance, or I'll teach you how to do this, teach you whatever, or teach you Spanish, teach you this, whatever. I'm like, I'm embarrassed. So I wouldn't. The thing is, if you don't do the thing you're not good at, you won't get good at it. So I never got good at it. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So I'll keep this video short because I don't want to waste your time. I want to give you the advice, but this video is mainly more about me, but hopefully it's something you can learn from this, and hopefully you can potentially not waste years of your life or many opportunities or family get-togethers or time with family, because time is irreplaceable. The moment you're born, it starts ticking. Let's say you got 80 years to live. Every second is another little hammer and chisel chipping away at that time that you have, and you'll never get it back. So if you can save a year of your life, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, five, whatever, or all your teenage years, pretty much like me, go for it. Do it. Face your fears. Overcome them. And don't be afraid to talk to people. And then don't get in the mindset of, well, I'm not good at something, so I can't try it because then I won't be good at it. But then you won't get better at it either. Yeah, it's like walking into a place and be like, I can't paint nothing, and like an artist shop or something. I can't paint nothing. I'm not good at painting. Okay, we won't get good at painting if you don't paint. You're not gonna come in there and be good at it. No one does. Some people that truly are naturally gifted in certain areas of their life, but and everybody has their own gift from God that they're good at, that God wants them to use, whatever. But if you don't do something, you're not gonna get anywhere. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always be where you've always been. If you never try, you'll never fail. You never get results. You never learn. You learn the most through failure. Because, there's three ways to gain wisdom. Imitation is the easiest. Self-reflection is the noblest, and experience is the hardest. But it gives you the most teaching. Master Barajo once said, "Experience is the ultimate teacher." It truly is, and the best experiences often come through failure because that's where the most lessons are learned. So if you don't get out there and fail and suck at talking to people, you're never gonna get good at talking to people. Especially when you're young, you can get away with it the younger you are. If you're awkward and young, everyone's awkward and young. All the kids are learning to talk to each other and whatever, and bonding over dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets, whatever. you don't have super sophisticated normal conversation, especially the younger you are. And if you're 25 watching this, you're 5 years older than me, 5 years younger than me. There's still plenty of time. If you're 35 watching this, there's still plenty of time to hone your skills. A year can do wonders for you. 2 years literally was a night and day difference between being pudgy and overweight, weak, and miserable to being a somewhat strong, decently strong guy. That's not pudgy. I may say I got a little fat to lose, but honestly, I'm not that bad. I got muscle in my frame. I'm strong. I'm tall. Again, tallness does not height doesn't come from the gym, but I'm present. I meditate. I stretch. Gratitude journaling. I do that all the time whenever I can. I do regular journaling periodically. I learning my third language. I'm working on stuff, and it just takes time. But time's gonna pass anyways. So you might as well just do the right things every day. Make every day a win. You're not gonna get every day a win, and every day's not gonna be a win. You're gonna lose sometimes, or you're gonna not do as good a job as you could have done, or whatever. Just do the basics. Do the bare minimum every single day, and you'll be amazed at what will pile up over time. Time will pass anyway. Just do the bare minimum. You'll literally be in the league of your own within 10 years. Now that sounds like a lot, but time will pass anyways. You'll literally be like far above the people in your age bracket in just 2 to 3. One, if you actually really try hard. 9 months if you try really, really hard. I guarantee you can make massive changes in under a year. Like go on a monk mode hiatus for some time and reappear as a friggin', as Adonis. That's not impossible. I know guys that have done it. Who have concepts back when he was on YouTube, he did it. But anyways, I'm not gonna get way into this stuff. But anyways, I will leave it there with you guys. I will go to bed here very shortly. I hope you gained something from listening to me talk. Have a good night. God bless, and please take care of yourself. Pray for you, your family, and everything. And may God wish you best, you guys. I hope I helped you. All right. Have a good one.